right, we got some big news for Tesla stock investors as the company reported its third quarter 2024 production and delivery numbers. There was some good in this report and some bad in the report. Overall, investors looked at this negatively and the stock price is down more than 3.5% following this announcement. So I'll go over the details of these latest figures and answer what it could mean for Tesla stock investors. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. All right, so in the third quarter of 2024, Tesla said it delivered 462,890 vehicles in total. It produced 469,796. So that means that inventories increased in the latest quarter. That is one of the downsides of this latest report. One of the upsides is that these delivery numbers were above what they were in the same quarter last year. In 2023, in the third quarter, the company produced 430,000 and delivered 435,000 vehicles in the same time last year. And so this year, they delivered roughly 27,000 more vehicles than they did last year. That was part of the good news. That was something good for Tesla stock investors. However, when you compare last year in the third quarter, they had some production downtime. And so you're comparing with a quarter that had production downtime. And so by barely beating it with 27,000 units, investors were a little disappointed by the magnitude of the beat. They were expecting something better given that the comparison with the same quarter last year was a favorable comparison. Also, in the third quarter this year, Tesla had the Tesla Cybertruck sales, which it didn't have last year. So even with the Tesla Cybertruck sales, and even with comparing with the quarter last year that had lower production, it still barely beat the numbers from last year. Those are some of the reasons why investors are disappointed. Secondly, when you look at other models here, Tesla says it delivered 22,915 deliveries of these other models. These include the Model S, the Model X, and the Tesla Cybertruck. And I look at this as a proxy for how Tesla Cybertruck sales are going. And if you look at the 22,915 number and you compare with last year, 15,985, that's also barely up, right? 6,000 unit increase year over year when you're including Tesla Cybertruck sales into the S and X models as well. So if you just look at it on the surface, it seems like Tesla sold roughly 6,000 Cybertrucks in the quarter, which is disappointing in my opinion. I would have thought Tesla Cybertruck sales would be doing better by this point. It's the third quarter of 2024 now. And yes, they're only selling the model that's roughly $100,000, but still, you would think that the Cybertruck sales would be doing better by now. It looks like the market is not liking that car at that price. So investors will have to look forward to the lower priced versions of the Cybertruck to hopefully boost sales of that car. Otherwise, it's going to be a major disappointment. Tesla for years spent lots of dollars building up research and development, creating this vehicle, and if it's only going to sell 6,000 units every quarter, that's extremely disappointing. Elon Musk talked about how at scale, it hopes to deliver 250,000 Cybertrucks annually. That's at like the full level, right? So it's nowhere near that point yet, and the ramp has gone extremely slowly. As I mentioned in the introduction of the video, investors did not like the initial report. The stock price was down over 5% on the announcement. It's now recovered and it's now down a little over 3.5% following the news. Full disclosure, I am short Tesla stock. I have put options that expire December of 2026. The primary reason for those is because I feel Tesla stock is overvalued. I think Tesla is the best EV company. However, I don't like EV companies overall. And so Tesla being so expensive, I feel the valuation should come down, although it may never come down because investors are seemingly willing to pay these premium prices for Tesla stock because for whatever reason, they feel Tesla is going to be the next tech giant in the world. Now, if I show you the valuations, even if you look at Tesla as a tech stock, I've got Tesla compared to some of the largest tech companies in the world, including Nvidia and Microsoft, and Tesla stock is trading at a forward price to earnings of 77, which is more than twice the valuation of Nvidia and Microsoft at 29 and 27 respectively. And then if you compare Tesla to other car companies like Ford and GM, Tesla is more than 15 times as expensive as those 5.4 and 4.6 respectively for Ford and GM. So regardless of how you view Tesla stock, whether as a tech company or a car company, the stock is overvalued in my opinion, and that's why I'm short Tesla stock. Now, I will admit Tesla is the best EV company, one of the only EV companies that can generate sales with positive profit margins, but still I feel it's overvalued. Now, going back to the concern about inventory, I mentioned that they have 469,000 units produced and 462,000 deliveries. If you look at their latest quarterly report, they highlighted that they had 18 days of inventory on hand at the end of the second quarter. That number of days will likely increase. Now, this second quarter 2024 number of 18 days outstanding was above the second quarter 2023 number of 16 days outstanding of inventory. In the current quarter, Tesla's average selling price was likely much lower than last year's third quarter average selling price because of all the price cutting Tesla has done. Also, Tesla's offering very attractive interest rates. So that's another incentive Tesla is offering to car buyers, and yet car sales are not doing as well as expected. Tesla is losing market share in the United States, its primary market, as newer models are coming out almost every day, and legacy car companies are coming out with their electric vehicles models. But overall market demand for EVs is way lower than was anticipated. I think the EV market got ahead of themselves in 2020 and 2021 because of supply chain shortages to legacy automakers, and car buyers going out looking for a car to buy couldn't find internal combustion engine vehicles to buy. So they were buying EVs because they were available. But now that supply chain constraints are pretty much over with and consumers can find whatever car they're looking for, more often than not, actually more than 9 times out of 10, they're choosing an internal combustion engine vehicle or a hybrid vehicle, but not an electric vehicle. And so that's not been great news for the industry overall. Still, it was impressive that Tesla delivered growth year over year, 435,000 units delivered in the same quarter last year, and now 462,000 units delivered in the third quarter of 2024. Overall, I think that was good news for Tesla stock investors. And the next thing to look forward to is Tesla's robo-taxi event, and then the actual profit and loss numbers from these third quarter results. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.